Carter at Lexington Podiatry, and I have a good set of toenails for you. They're not the longest we've ever seen, but they're pretty thick. They may crumble a little bit, so let's get started. All right, it's been a few months since he's had them trimmed. Normally he'll go get a pedicure, and they can only do so much there. When you go get a pedicure, they're more concerned about making your toenails pretty because they want to paint them. Of course, he's not interested in getting pink polish. I already tried. So we're gonna cut his for medical reasons at this point. We're gonna make sure that we reduce the thickness, that we keep them short enough that they're not going to dig into another toe, that they're not gonna cause any wounds or any other problems. That's one of the main differences in coming here versus going to get a pedicure. I don't want them to look ugly by any means, but I'm not gonna leave them long just to make them look pretty. There are people that come here and let us trim the toenails, and then they go get a pedicure and they get rubbed on and they get them painted there. So if next time he has pink polish, we'll know that's what happened. I don't think that's gonna be an issue with him though. All right, these are coming off nicely. This one, of course, as you can see, is a little bit thicker than it is long even. So it's more important to reduce the bulk and the thickness of it. When you have a shoe on and it pushes against a really thick toenail, it can cause problems beneath the toenail that you can't even see. You can get blisters under there, you can get all kinds of drainage and issues that sometimes pop up and cause bigger issues.
For one thing we don't want to happen is for you to get a blister anywhere, especially if you're a diabetic and have neuropathy. That can be a real serious problem that can lead to an ulceration and then can lead to an amputation. So we'll do whatever we have to make sure that doesn't happen. Really cool sock here. This is going to really wick moisture off of your foot. That's why we get blisters. Excessive moisture on the skin, you're in your shoe, rub, 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 and then there's a blister. So if you can throw a sock on to help wick that off, it makes a lot of sense, right? So merino wools are really popular material used to allow that to happen. Also, Bombas has this breathability, this Hex Tech technology. What that is it's going to allow a lot of airflow go in and out from your foot to the interior of your shoe, or if you're not wearing shoes. So what is that going to do? That's really going to minimize any risk of creating a blister. Plus, this stuff has lots of padding, especially around the toe area and the heel, which tons of people get blisters around their heel. In fact, they have already came up with a design. It's called a blister tab here in the back to give you extra padding and protection against getting a blister in that area. Don't forget, guys, LEX20 is your discount code to get 20% off. And the best part of all of it is when you buy one, they donate one.
All right, this is the fun one. You can probably see it's curving in quite nicely, but it's not really digging into his skin, thank goodness, because that would cause problems if it was. Yeah. All of this gunk kind of builds in under there, or builds up under there, and that's because there's that cavity where the nail is humped up and curving. Sometimes that stuff becomes more painful than even the toenail. I have been known to pop a few toenails at the ceiling, maybe even at the people with you. You just tell me where to aim it and I'll try. He seems like he's pretty nice to you though, so we might not want to hurt him. I've even taken a few of them home with me before. Hold on. So I try to do most of this with my nippers. We will use kind of a grinder on you in just a little bit and see if we can't smooth them and thin them down a bit more. I like to do as much of it as I can with my nippers. Sometimes this, you can't tell as much if it's skin or nail. I see skin down here, but this has a different appearance to it. So I have to be real careful to make sure that it's not skin when I first touch it and kind of dig into it. The last thing I want him to do is bleed. It does happen from time to time. Okay. And if you're gonna bleed somewhere, I'd rather you bleed here than at home or at the salon, because I'm confident that we are clean and sterile and you're not going to get a fungal infection here. Or hopefully not an infection, period. You might have to go down a shoe size. That's an excuse to get new shoes.
There we go. We were just talking.
All right, I'm just about finished with this one. That stuff is getting to where it's skin and I don't want to make him bleed. All right, one down, let's go to the other one. Here we go. People always ask, do we cut our toenails straight across? The answer is yes, if they grow that way. If they are curving in like the big ones, like a few of these smaller ones, you kind of have to chase it. Now, it's not the best thing for normal people to do, but when you come here, that's exactly what we're going to do. It's better for you at home to take an emery board up under the corner of it and buff down that prominent edge. That will keep it from poking into your skin and hopefully not causing an infection. The whole top of that one just came off for me. And sometimes you start to see it separate like that. And this pink, that's skin there. So I know we don't want to cut that. But it just peels off in layers. Yeah. He knows how to grow them. It is hereditary, so the predisposition to getting these thickened toenails can for sure be hereditary. So sons and daughters out there, prevention is key. Things to do to prevent it: putting a topical antifungal on your nails every day. That's a really good start. Oop, look at that. There's a little bit of fluid, I think, under there. Okay. So yeah, painting something on them every day and just watching them. It's not uncommon for people to look down one day and all of a sudden their toenails are yellow and they have no idea how long they've been like that or how they got that way. So looking at your feet every single day will for sure help with that. Now, this is one of the problems that can happen from those thick toenails. Like I said, that shoe constantly puts pressure on there and it rubs a blister underneath. If it's red and irritated, sometimes I have to take the nail off. Yours is not, so we don't have to do that right now. Okay. I'm gonna expose it so it can drain out. You may notice a little bit of drainage either on your bandage, on a sock, and that's okay, because I want the drainage out. I can treat anything that I can see. If it's hidden, I can't see it. Okay. All right, we're gonna let them soak for a few more minutes and we'll be back. A lot of them, some of them don't need a whole lot, because once again, we use the nippers. We use them for what they're built for. You just wanna file them down, make sure it's not enough to get snagged on anything. There we go. A couple of them like this one need a little bit more. You know, try not to leave any point. Anything that can get snagged on his sock and cause issues. We're all about prevention here. We want to make him as good as we can and prevent everything else from happening. He gets to go home with a couple pieces of skin there. I'm gonna just buff over this, but I'm gonna leave it. I don't want to try to cut it because I want to see what it does. We're good. Okay. All right, there's that one. So let's get to the other one. Can you see it from there, young lady? Perfect. This one looks almost perfect, almost like it doesn't even belong to him. Not sure where you picked that toe up from. Very good. Very tedious little process, but makes people feel so much better. There's skin flying everywhere. Very good. And the last one. And then we do have a callus to trim as well on the bottom of his foot, so that will be a nice little added surprise. A little bonus for the watchers. He's already agreed to sign autographs for anybody that wants one for his famous toes. Maybe. All right, there's that. Here's our callus. This happens when you put a lot of pressure on that part of your foot. So we're gonna try to shave this down. The more he's on his foot, the worse it gets. As it builds up and builds up between visits, it will acquire more and more pressure. Calluses can actually get blood beneath them and cause open wounds too. So that's why they're so important to take care of. Now, this one has no blood under it. We're not at risk at this point of it causing ulceration. However, it can change pretty quickly. The older you get, your skin gets a little bit more thin and fragile, and so you can get sores easier than now than when you're in your 20s. He is not old. We are not saying that, but he's not 20 anymore, so. All right. Perfect. We've got a nice nail trim from Lexington Podiatry with a little callus addition. I'm going to clean him the rest of the way up and put some lotion on him, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.